Hey everyone, my name is Imad.
And I'm Yoseph. Thanks for joining us for another Hometown Mentors video.
So today we'll be talking about admission essays. So one of the admissions essays you might run into in your senior year is called the common application. The common application either has four to six prompts they give you to pick from. Usually the questions are really general. They mostly ask about like tell me about yourself, something like that, or like any life current events that you can add to. So, and most of these, the common application releases their prompts your August of your senior year, and during these prompts you can just talk about yourself. You can talk about anything that you would like the admissions office to know, and also it's never hurts to get a head start early. So I would say definitely look into it your senior year and get a head start and write it down. Never hurts.
Yeah, so these college prompts will be released by August of your senior year, and usually sometimes they have the same essay for 2 years. So, check online to see if if August essays will be the same as the year before, because then you won't have to wait until August. You can get started on it, in June or July. However, we do warn you that you don't want to get started too early, right? You don't want to be working on your college essay in 9th grade, because most of your formative experiences will be in high school, right? You know what subjects you want to study. Maybe some of your most memorable experiences that you want to write about are going to happen in 10th and 11th grade. So, you want to wait until, summer before your senior year and, recollect about your past life, and then you can write about your life on your essays.
Also, another important factor is when writing these essays, talk to someone. Please, I encourage you, most of you students, to talk to someone. My senior year, I talked to many of my English teachers, had their support and their help, their wisdom, because if it wasn't for them, then my application would have been as strong as opposed to someone that that went to their teachers and asked for their help, asked for their grammatical suggestions, and it's good because applying to these applications, their committee is looking at many students to see any grammatical errors. So if you have grammatical errors on your essay, this is not going to make you as competitive as someone that has actually took the time to actually look into their essay, reread it over, and check for mistakes. So I encourage you guys to create a relationship with one of your professors that that would take an overview of your application. You're reading your whether it's a scholarship, not only Common App, any scholarship essays that you need to write. Use a teacher, use someone that can look over it.
Right, and one thing I was told when I was writing my essay is that your grandmother should be able to go into a room full of unnamed essays, like on the ground, and your grandma should be able to identify your essay even without the name on it. So, what that basically says is that your essay should be very unique, right? It should, because unfortunately, these college admissions officers, they have pretty tough jobs. They're reading like maybe 100 applications a day, right? So, there's some things they hear over and over again that they don't want to keep hearing, right? So try to make your essay new. Try to write an essay that no one else has ever written about, so that you can really stay in that admissions officer's heads when they're thinking about, who to admit.
Your essay shouldn't be in chronological order, as opposed to it should be more of like you talking about a series or an event that can tell more about yourself, give more information about yourself, that where you stood out and your qualities and different characters. You don't want to talk about more of like, oh, I was born, just like a timeline. Basically, try to stay away from that. And also keep in mind that some essays, some prompts has a time, has a word limit. So either could be 500 or 1,000. So you don't want to go over that limit. That also makes you want you to condense on a specific time period of event in life that really elaborates about yourself or characters.
Right, and when you go to libraries or bookstores, you're gonna see 50 successful essays to like Harvard or something. We caution against reading those because it's like, the college admissions officers, they read essays all the time, right? So they know famous essays, right? They know essays in the past that have worked well, and they study these really well, right? So you want to be careful that your essay doesn't mimic another successful essay, right? Because the college officers will know that, and that'll be a risk, and you don't even want to accidentally mimic them, right? So you want to make your essay unique to you, right? Your essay is going to be the next greatest essay. You don't need to copy someone else's essay that was good. Make your essay, sell your story, right? So make a good story out of your life.
Also, when applying to some of the when applying to some of these colleges, some of these prompts could talk about may want you to. You might be applying to a college of engineering. Let's say I was going to UVA and I'm applying for their engineering. My major is computer science, so there's a prompt that they give you, was mostly like general, like it's just like a general personal statement where you're talking about in like 500 words. Tell me more about yourself, your personality, activities you've been involved in, and there might be a separate application or a separate prompt where it's driven towards more of your what major you select. In my case, it will be computer science, so it'll be more engineering based questions. So it will ask me about, tell me a time period where you use like your math skills, or what do you want to do with a bachelor's degree in computer science? How would you help impact the world? How would you uplift communities? What would you do? What would this degree mean to you? What would you gain from it? How would you help? How would you help solve problems in the world? More questions just like that. So basically, an overview is like when you're applying for these schools, they might have a separate prompt driven towards the major that you select.
Right. So, when you're writing school specific essays for each school, you don't want to copy and paste the same essay and send it to multiple schools, right? You don't want to just say, I want to go to your school because you have great academics. And then, because you could have wrote that virtually for every school, right? Colleges want to know you did research on their school. So, you can write, I want to go to your school because you have a strong engineering department. Or I want to go to your school because, I met this professor and, he told me about the robust theater program that you guys have. Or I want to go to your school because I want to be on the marching band, right? So, look up, do research on the specifics about this school, and then talk about that in your essay so that your college will know that, you invested a lot of time into it. So, when college admissions officers accept people, they want to accept people that are going to decide to go to their college and not a different college. So they want a high yield rate, right? So if they accept like 300 students, they're going to want, 290 of them to actually go to their school, and they won't mind if like 10 or so go to a different school. So that's why they value these school specific essays so much, is like, that's why they ask, why do you want to come to our college? Why do you, what do you want to study at our school? It's because they want to gauge your level of interest in the school. They want to gauge about how much research you've done. They want to gauge how much research you've done in this school. So, that's why these school-specific essays are pretty important.
Another thing that you guys might think or probably might be on the fence about is talking about your hardships. We all face hardship, whether it's family, friend, close relatives, cousins, anything. You want to talk about things that you've struggled with, something that was tough for you to overcome, but you overcame, because colleges want to see that, oh, he overcome a big obstacle despite the fact that he's encountered these hardship, or it could be financial, it could be emotionally distressed, a death in a family, something that was a challenge for you to go through while you was in school. Because colleges will see that as they're reading your application, they will see this as something that you overcame, an accomplishment that, like, despite the fact that you went through these things, that you was able to overcome them and succeed at the highest level that you could. So definitely, I would say mention your hardships in these applications or in these essays or scholarships or anything. So you will stand out and you'll be appreciative more of how you was able to come through.
And it could also explain a dip in performance, right? Because it's like if your mother, in 10th grade lost her job, and, it also happened that in 10th grade, and it also happened in 10th grade that you didn't get good grades, then, your college is going to be more understanding and more forgiving of those grades you got in 10th grade.
Also, while writing your essays, I would say start early now. A good time frame to apply for these colleges, like to be like so you're not running around last minute, is to have a rough draft completed and ready to go by, I would say, between October or latest I would say November. Because if you have a rough draft early, you have someone that's already you already have someone that can look at it and give time to, and you can always look back and add more things that you left out. You can fix things grammatically instead of last second, because most colleges, as they're reading these essays, they want to make sure that like your no grammatical errors, that you incorporate words that are good and that really make you stand out as a person. So make sure you have a rough draft completed in by, like, I would say as the beginning, as early as possible, but not too early. So I would say probably like the first 2 months of your senior year, have it completed and have a teacher or somebody to look over it, definitely.
Right, and your essays will turn out a lot better if you view them as an opportunity to reflect on the past 12 years of schooling. View them as, an enjoyable aspect. It doesn't have to be something you bite your teeth through, right? It could be a time where you reaffirm your principles, your values, right? See who you are as a person. And if you view your essays as an opportunity, to learn more about yourself, to learn more about yourself, recollect on your life rather than a painful experience, your essays will turn out a lot better. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.